Welcome to the Meydan Free Zone podcast, where we discuss with the innovators and changemakers that are revolutionizing the world of telecommunications across the UAE and the world. I'm your host, Maria, and today we have the pleasure of talking to Mr. Muktesh Narula, the CEO of Dovsoft Limited, a company that is revolutionizing cloud communication services across the globe. Thank you for joining me today, Muktesh. It's such a pleasure to have you.
Thank you for having me, Maria. It's a pleasure meeting you here.
For people that might not understand what cloud communication is or even know what the cloud is, I know sometimes we talk about it a lot, but people don't really understand the ins and outs of what that actually entails because there's a lot that goes in it. What is cloud communication and why should companies know and be using it?
Sure. That's a good question because when it all started with SMS about 16, 17 years ago, it used to be all in-house, on-premise solution, which was hosted there because it used to be only the broadcast through the SMS. But then eventually, as the technology evolved, we moved on to cloud because now so many channels of communications are involved. So the cloud is definitely needed for scalability, for better uptime and reliability. So that's why with the inclusion of many more channels for communication, it's now on the cloud and then it's called cloud communication.
For a person that really isn't technologically, informed, what could we explain to a person that really has no understanding of that?
Right. So cloud is something where the solution or the application is hosted on the servers, which are better in terms of quality and the services, and the scalability is high. Because the technology is evolving, the number of messages or the number of transactions and communications are increasing. So we need something which is highly scalable.
Yeah.
And cloud is the only solution for that.
And with that, I wanted to understand as well, there's any size of a business, you always have maybe communication gaps or challenges in actually coordinating from top tier management all the way down, or even across a team per se. What are the challenges that you've seen that have arisen over the past few, let's say, years, maybe a decade? And where have you seen cloud communication actually enhance, this gap that might exist within any size of a company?
Messaging, to be precise, or the communication is something that every business needs. So I've seen in my career of about 20 years now that a business as small as a salon to a company as big as Ericsson, they need to communicate with their customers internally, with their own resources. And digital communication is certainly the best choice today.
Yeah.
And the challenges which are faced by these businesses is foremost is the security of the data that's there because it's their clientele, it's their customers whose data is there. Data security, privacy is very, very important for them. The second challenge that they face is the scalability, like I said in the beginning, because number of communication transactions are increasing. So scalability is another challenge. So uptime of the system is important. So these are the basic two challenges, but not limited to this. Then, the timely delivery of the messages is very, very important. And these are the challenges that we face and we solve it for our clients.
When we talk about communication, I think it's very much an ambiguous term because there's so many different types of it, especially from a business when it's a client-facing situation and when it's within the actual organization. And like you mentioned earlier, there have been cases where you use SMS, we'll use email. Nowadays, especially since COVID, we use a lot of Zoom, Teams, and any form of video meeting platforms. What have you seen that so far, let's say since 2020, 2021 after the pandemic, that you've seen really a lot of people get on board with? Because there are businesses that, have not really still done the digitalized move. They really like to do phone calls rather. Here's my number on my Google Ads page. Call me, we'll tell you everything. They don't really invest in anything further than just maybe a call or an SMS. But what is the benefit of integrating things like, let's say, a chatbot, WhatsApp, targeted emails where a client can just easily book the appointment and someone within your team receives it and organizes? Why would that be so important for a business to adopt in this day and age?
With the evolvement of a lot of channels like OTT channels, messaging, email, people use different channels. Everyone has different choices. So if I am on WhatsApp, you may be on a Viber or Telegram. And it is very, very important for a business to be available on all the channels.
Yeah.
That is where, the role of a CPaaS company like ours come in. Because we have all these channels integrated on one single platform, which is Mobicom in our case. So no matter whatever channel the customer chooses, the company or the business is available to respond to him. And it is essential to to grow your business It is extremely important that you are available, the business is available on every channel, whether it is for sales or support.
And that is challenging in itself because you can't be on every single communication channel in the world as one person without the support
Yes.
of some technology or software, which it leads me to my next thing about DoveSoft. To people that don't know what DoveSoft does or the actual mechanisms in which it helps people integrate or enhance their cloud communication, what does DoveSoft do and why is it beneficial to adopt services that you guys provide?
The businesses are aware that this is, the most effective way to engage with the customers. But yes, not everyone is willing to embrace it currently, and that's the challenge for us. But then, yes, we do a lot of marketing, we do a lot of awareness campaigns for the people to realize that yes, for better customer engagement, they need these solutions.
For clients that might not know DoveSoft yet and are not aware of all the services that the company provides, can you give them a little bit of background of the company, how you can help support companies to not only scale, but to manage communications effectively, and also highlight the partnership here because, of course, Meydan has now established a partnership with DoveSoft.
Like I said, initially it was just the SMS that we started with because that was the need of those times. People still advertise that SMS has 98% of open rate. So no doubt it was the cheapest mode of communication available to broadcast, for the awareness of the customers. But then as it has evolved, now it's a two-way engagement. So the customers, they want to ask questions from the company. That obviously builds the trust. If you're available on all the channels, your customer trusts you more. The engagement is better, that the customer's loyalty towards the brand increases. That is the reason DoveSoft now has 16 channels integrated onto one single platform, which is, to quote a few, is SMS, email, voice calls, WhatsApp, Instagram Messenger. So these 16 channels are available with our platform. And to help these startups, like in Meydan, now we're coming in. So we would like to offer these services to the people here, who need it. And believe me, we can really give it at a very competitive price to the people here.
And for a person, let's say I was opening a business and my main platform to sell or to promote my products would be through Meta. And I need someone to manage my direct messaging. How does DoveSoft come and help me for that? Is it a situation where I hire DoveSoft services and then there's a designated person responding or letting me know about the information? I just want to understand that.
So we have 24/7 support team which can help you build your bots, which automates all the replies to the questions that the customer asks you. We help you build those bots also. And then our account manager is there in case any problem comes up. So in terms of service, yes, we are always available for our customers. We've now reached where Gen AI is doing a lot of things. So chatbots are Gen AI enabled already. And as the bots are learning, the kind of responses they give to the questions is amazing. So we recently built a bot which can reply to a query in any language of the world.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
And it's correct because, sometimes you go online and they give you a wrong language.
So Gen AI is something, you start talking to the bot, let's say in Arabic, it will identify that, okay, you understand Arabic better, so it'll reply to all your queries in Arabic. So that intent detection is really fast now with the training of the bots. And that is really helping the customers.
Yeah. And I think that's also incredible because at the end of the day, if you can open as many channels of communication between a client and a business, it really does allow for so many people to now interact with your company as well. Because if, let's say how you said earlier, if I just had SMS and email, the people that in this day and age really rely on just speaking through WhatsApp maybe or direct messaging. If I don't have those optimized or something assisting me in managing those forms of communication, you can be losing out on a lot of business.
Absolutely.
A lot of people have shifted towards different forms of communication. And like we mentioned earlier, I don't need to be a master of all the forms of chatting to someone, but I need to be able to be open to receiving communication through many different channels. And I don't know how Mobicom comes into place with this because I know DoveSoft does offer the AI chatbots, but as well some marketing solutions. How does that work in the services you provide?
Yes, so marketing is where the communication is mostly used because marketing is for the awareness of your brand, for keeping your customers engaged. So our chatbots are really capable of solving all your problems, during the conversation. Most of it are solved. So it is very rare that, the customer has to switch to a live agent for any queries. The Gen AI bots are so trained, so very well trained, that they can solve all your problems, reply to all your queries about any product, service, just by themselves.
Yeah. And would you say this is not only, a scalable solution for companies, but it's also a cost-effective one? Because now they don't have to be worried about hiring a large, let's say, call center, or potentially losing time and other resources and trying to reply to every single person. You've integrated levels of AI and also optimized your different streams of communication. So it not only saves you money, but also in effect generates you money, because there's something live in real time replying to queries of clients, trying to connect with your business, and no one's been left, let's say, on red or, with no response.
Absolutely. So we're doing a project with Government of India where, the chatbot is answering to a few 100,000 queries every day. And that department is saving a lot of money on, hiring agents, making them answer the calls. The chatbot is doing it on its own. And it's at 30% or 20% of the cost what they would have spent on the live agents. And
with data privacy, of course, that's very important, especially when you're directly dealing with sensitive information of clients. Depending on your industry, you'll be collecting maybe, especially, for example, with a free zone or any other government entity, you might be receiving ID information, personal information, other data. Where does data privacy come into question when DevSoft integrates its softwares or its solutions with a company?
Data privacy is something which is very, very important for our business, because no client of ours would want his data to be shared with anyone. Mm-hmm. So we make sure all the data is encrypted, whether it is in transit or at rest. We keep everything encrypted. We have all the necessary certification which is required. We keep running all those tests periodically to make sure that the data of our customers is absolutely safe and secured.
Of course, I ask because there have been data breaches across the world throughout time since, the .com boom. So I know that is always a big priority across the world. And even governments have so many regulations when it comes to data privacy.
Although there is a saying that a thief is always one step ahead of you. But then, yes, we do make sure that we keep it the safest possible.
And I wanted to know if you have any case studies of where the solutions DevSoft provided really helped scale a business. It doesn't need to be, we don't need to name names, of course, because we just talked about data privacy. But was there a case where, DevSoft came in, they wanted to maybe increase the outreach or increase, sales in some form, and then after integrating and enhancing the different communication channels, they really did well?
Absolutely. So there's this e-commerce company, who used our services to give updates on the delivery, tracking the shipment, and our bots made that possible for them, and they saved a lot of money on the agents' wages. So that's where we helped them, and because of that, the customer loyalty was increased, the trust of the customers on the company was increased. So, to the best of my knowledge, they added about 20%, 25% of the revenue.
One of the things I wanted to discuss with you as well was when it comes to the clients of Meydan, what can they expect if they wanted to use DevSoft? Because of course we have this new partnership and we're very excited to have it. But for the clients viewing this podcast and watching any of the clips relating to DevSoft in the future, what can they expect when they use your services as a Meydan client?
First and foremost, they can be, absolutely sure that their data is going to be safe, and we will give them the most competitive pricing. That's another important thing for any startup or a small business. The cost efficiency is extremely important. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, the quality of service, they can be rest assured that we will provide the best of the service.
Can you explain to me, is it more like a platform or is it an integrated system into the company's existing structures?
Yeah, so it is a platform wherein the communication is automated.
Yes.
So you can build your, with the no-code thing, you can build the workflows, you can automate the entire communication, and your problems are sorted.
One of the things that, is a reality, especially in the industry that you find yourself in, is a lot of technological advancements and innovation, especially with AI. Since DevSoft uses AI a lot, there are so many changes happening day to day, and, who knows what the digital world and AI will look like in 2 months, 3 months, and a year or 5 years' time. How does Dovesoft stay ahead of the game, especially when new things are developing? And how does it, enhance or integrate that into its services so that the client has the best service offering as possible?
I agree with you. So it's evolving every night. I mean, you get up in the morning, you find a new technology in the market. Yeah. So yes, we have to do a lot of R&D, a lot of research on the market, what is happening, the trends which are emerging. So I'll give you an example. Now Dovesoft is also working on the avatar bots, which are Gen AI enabled. So probably, if your brand wants to, let's say, want Tom Cruise to say something, so we'll prepare a avatar of Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise would be, replying to all your support queries or maybe marketing queries. So that's where it has reached. Yeah. And next, to the best of my knowledge, is what is coming is the augmented reality and the virtual reality, being integrated into the chatbots. So if a real estate company wants to, let's say, showcase their properties, you probably have to wear a gear, and on any OTT channel, you can walk through a property in 3-dimensional. Or
That's incredible.
You can virtually be there, yes.
Especially in the real estate industry. A lot of times clients just decide to, can I go view now? Or can I go do this? And if they have, the 360 view that they can quickly just jump into using VR,
yes,
that is incredible.
Dovesoft is already working on it, and hopefully we'll achieve it pretty soon.
And it's not just real estate. There's so many different industries that can use that. That is really great.
You can have the feel and experience of a car sitting inside.
Yeah.
You're using that. Yeah.
Or maybe, for example, in the case of Meydan Free Zone, since we operate 24/7, 365 days of the year, if someone is, let's say, across the world wanting to open their license, you can always, and you want to have a meeting at the office, you can always be part of the virtual reality.
They can actually walk through this.
That is so cool. Yes, that is going to be such an exciting new innovation. And I think a lot of companies will really benefit for that, especially as more and more companies shift towards the digital world. And, some people we're in a world where we live for immediacy and quick responses. And also, I can't get there right now, but I need to have this meeting.
Absolutely. Yeah, like I said, it increases your efficiency to multifold.
And enhances as well the customer journey.
Yes.
If you can actually put the person there, even if it's in virtual reality, that gives us a complete different experience than having to speak to someone on the phone or on a chatbot, And is there anything else that you foresee with the trends changing that will, maybe change your industry?
During the COVID times, we heard of telemedicine.
Yeah.
Now we have bots which can read the OCR reports, prescribe your medicines. So we've reached those levels now.
Oh my gosh. Within the UAE specifically, we have we have the Ministry of AI, of course. We have a lot of initiatives to, get the UAE as, well, it's already a leading country in the world when it comes to AI and technological advances. But one of the things, though, that we do need to highlight as well is that although AI is incredible and has a lot of, benefits, and it's developing so quickly, what are the challenges that you foresee? In the UAE, it's a front-running country with, different AI innovation and technologies coming up. But there are different things that sometimes people forget to mention about AI. And I wanted to get your insights from your experience of what you think people might miss as it's developing so quickly.
I can immediately think of 2 reasons or the things that we need to work on as far as AI is concerned. One is the problem of copyrights. So Gen AI, generates a content. Who has the ownership? Yeah. That's one challenge that people are still working on, which needs to be sorted at the earliest possible. The other thing is, because the Gen AI or AI in general works on the training, the data that has been fed to the AI. Yeah. So at times, it is felt that the bots are biased. Or the replies are biased. So that is where we need to work on to ensure that the replies or the bots don't seem biased. It has to be more unbiased kind of replies.
If you think about it, we're using AI across the world, different countries, different cultures, different languages. And even within one country, you can have so many people with completely different ways of life, not only from religious or cultural perspectives, but also you could have a neighbor that's completely different. And in the UAE, it's no different. We have so much diversity here. So you need to be able to find some form of AI solution that can take all of those things into account.
Right.
Because for example, with OpenAI and ChatGPT, that's a global platform that everyone is using. But where is that information specifically coming from? It's from a few areas, not the whole world. In the UAE, the information might be misinformed because it may have been created or the data being pulled is from the US, as an example.
Companies are already working on that. Probably that will take a little time, but then this will evolve.
Yeah.
The other challenge that we face is the dialect, because the dialect changes every, let's say, 200 kilometers, even in India. Or like you said, there's so much of diversity, so everyone's dialect is different. So for the bot or the AI to understand that dialect, it still needs a lot of working.
Well, there have been some incredible advancements because I've been, for work the other day, I can't remember what the tool is called, and we tested it, and I speak a few languages, all my colleagues also speak a few. So the IT team was walking around saying, does this sound good for you? And my Spanish is Latin American, specifically Mexican. So I was like, yeah, this sounds like someone in Mexico City. Someone else went up and they replied, yeah, no, this sounds like my dialect in India, or, this version of Arabic, because Arabic also has so many different dialects. So it's really great as well, because to be able to specifically target people with their actual dialect or their specific language and colloquialisms that they use also makes it such a better client journey for them, and will definitely enhance their experience with the company itself.
Correct. You feel so much connected if it is replying in your dialect, in your language.
And especially if it's a bot, because some people don't like talking to bots. They immediately have had a bad experience, and so all bots are bad. They don't work with them. So the fact that they're developing these things is so exciting, and I think it will be so beneficial for companies, not only in Meydan if they use DevSoft services, but around the world when they do use them. Lastly, I wanted to get your insight on if there's a company that wants to, be up to standard with all of the evolving landscape, especially with AI and communications. What pieces of advice would you give for them that they need to be really, considering and work on and make those top-notch before they even start working?
First and foremost is they have to embrace the technology. It is very, very important that they go with the time, because the time now is to go digital. The digitization brings efficiency compared to human beings. So it is extremely important that they embrace the digitization and work with it. And with digitization, I also recommend to be available on maximum possible number of channels of communication, because the world is so diverse. The Gen Z, Gen Y, and whatever, my people of my generation, we use different channels of communication. You don't know what your client is coming on to. So you have to be available on all the channels that are possible.
Well, Muktesh, it was so lovely to have you here today. I have no doubt that, all our viewers have gained invaluable insights on how important cloud communication and integrations into their businesses is so important, not only within the organization, but especially with a B2C relationship. Employees and, organizations need to be on top of their game, especially when they're receiving inquiries or even just engagement from their clients, because any client query or messaging ignored is potentially a client lost.
Absolutely.
And that's going to, be a loss in revenue, loss in trust. So unfortunately, we live in a day and age where one bad experience or one bad review can really be detrimental for future business. And I have no doubt that, with the support of DevSoft services and the partnership between DevSoft and Meydan, we're going to have a lot of clients really engaging and enhancing their cloud communication. And I'm really excited for where the partnership will take our clients and where DevSoft will go in the future.
So am I, Maria. Believe me. It's been lovely, talking to you, answering to whatever questions you asked.
Communication is so key, and everyone is different. We have not only cultural differences and language differences, but we also have generational differences. And every different client has a different preferred way of communication. And for a company to potentially block or not really put in a lot of effort or investment into a specific channel could really deter other clients from even participating or engaging with their services. So I'm really excited for this partnership. I cannot wait to see where DevSoft goes and where they also enhance and, develop the AI world, because I know DevSoft is really involved with how, the communication channels are evolving, how companies are integrating AI and machine learning. So that's very exciting, and I hope to see you soon.
Believe me, we are equally excited at DevSoft, and we're looking forward to serving, Meydan clients.
To our audience, thank you so much for joining me today. I know you gained invaluable insights from Muktesh and understood the diverse world of cloud communication and all of the important factors that go into into not only optimizing your communication channels with your clients, but also optimizing those channels within your organization so you have maximum output. Please join me next time where we talk with more innovators and change makers that are revolutionizing the business landscape of the UAE and especially Dubai.